Welcome back. Joining us virtually is friend of the show, confidence cultivator, Karen Laos. Thanks so much for hanging out with us.
You're welcome. It's great to be back.
It's great to have you back. You always have great advice for people out there. Today we're focusing on mom. Mother's Day is coming up, and oftentimes they're disappointed on what they get, and I can attest to that. I've given my mom plenty of gifts in my youth where she might not have been the happiest with.
Yes. Well, I'm laughing because I'm thinking about a time when I was a kid and my mom had talked about wanting a new colander. And when my brother asked me, "What are you going to get for mom?" And I said, "I think I'm going to get her a new colander." And he said, "What about a scarf?" And that was the first time I thought, oh, my mom's a human being. She's
Yeah.
not just in the kitchen all the time and she can't wait to get a new colander or another kitchen appliance.
So, Karen, this leads us to our main question. How does a mom get what she wants on Mother's Day?
The first thing is to ask. We get so hung up in feeling like, well, maybe I don't want to say anything because I might make somebody feel bad or make somebody feel hurt or disappointed with even my asking. I mean, there's so many things that we are concerned about, but we have to ask because that's going to be the best way to do it. We want people to read our minds. Let's face it. I think we all would love that if that were the case. That'd be amazing. But that's not how life works. When we ask, we will be guaranteed. And you can also give options to say, here's what would make me feel really celebrated on Mother's Day.
Yeah.
And give options, like if you like jewelry or whatever place you might like. I'm making an assumption there already, but anything you might like, say, hey, here are 3 potential options or things that would really make me feel special and celebrated on Mother's Day. Would you be willing to do one of those? And I really believe that the people that love us most are going to want to honor that request.
Yeah.
But if we don't make the request, then how are they going to know?
And I love that. And I love the give options part of that as well. But sometimes, too, it's kind of nerve-wracking to ask for what you really want.
It is. Yes. We all have this doubt that we contend with. I think a lot of us, especially as women, we've been culturally conditioned to feel like, oh, I shouldn't ask. Maybe I don't deserve that. Oh, everybody else needs to be happy and not me. Maybe we don't consciously think that, but we're so focused on accommodating everybody else. This is the one time of the year to make sure that you ask for what you want so that you get the best experience. Because the other thing that's fascinating, did you know statistically that 40% of women that are moms say they are disappointed on Mother's Day with what happens with that day?
I never knew that. And I was probably, in my youth, part of that statistic, giving my mom things she didn't really want on Mother's Day.
Yes, understood. I'm the same way. I'm with you.
And
so we've got to guarantee that. Yeah.
Yeah. And then speaking for family members, sometimes you think like, oh, I don't want to ask my mom what she wants. I want it to be a surprise. Do you have any tips out there for people on gift giving?
Yes, absolutely. I feel like for the family members, it's making sure that you take proactive measures to ask your mom what would really make you feel special. Because, and by the way, Taylor and folks, I am not a mom myself except to my 2 beautiful cats. So I can't speak personally to this, but I can speak from a daughter. Being able to say, hey, what would be the best thing for you? I know it's easy to assume like, oh, we're all going to be together. Isn't that great? But does mom really want to end up in the kitchen when all of her kids come home, if they're adult kids, or as little kids, having to end up doing all these things? If you want to just take a bath by yourself, if you want to go to a restaurant, tell your family or have your family ask you what would make you feel most honored. So when you're the family member, definitely want to ask, and that's going to help. It's going to make your mom feel really special.
Yeah.
And that's going to give her almost permission, I would say, to say, oh, they want to know.
Yeah, and I feel like that's going to help too for mom out there especially. And Karen, we have about 30 seconds left. Any final thoughts, because Mother's Day is right around that corner?
Yes. Get beyond the concern or fear that you're going to hurt or disappoint people. That is going to happen no matter what. So make sure that you take that step, ask for what you want, and you're going to be a lot more guaranteed to get it. So take that step, go for it, and say that. That's going to make a big difference.
Yeah, and we are out of time, but how can people find you?
Yeah. Yes, KarenLaos.com is my website, and you can go there to get a freebie called 9 Words to Avoid and What to Say Instead. And the website is KarenLaos.com.
Karen, love chatting with you. Great advice as always. Thank you so much for being here. You guys
Thank
at home,
you.
of course, if you guys at home want to learn more, KLAF.com. Stay with us. We'll be right back after this.